Okay, guys, as we're setting up, do me a favor and see if you can invite people and if you can share this. Hello, my brother Paul. How are you doing? Thank you for coming on. Rita Idoze, thank you for coming on. Yeah, take it back. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to wait a little while for some other people. Hello, Rita. How are you doing? Thank you for all your support and all your sharing of our videos and always commenting. Azay Victor, thank you so much. The whole day I've been trying to do a broadcast, but oh man, everything is a project in Nigeria. It's so terrible. The network has been just terrible. Okay, along the road, it's so difficult to have consistent network. It's good in some parts, and when you get to other places, the network is not good. Nancy Kime, thank you so much. Twist Bobby, thank you very much. Guys, just share this video if you can, so we have other people and the interaction will be more interesting, and we'll get reactions from a wide variety. Guys, please, if you're watching this broadcast, please don't call me, because when you call me, it trips the broadcast off and I'm not able to continue the broadcast. Yes, I'm fine, Rita. Everything is okay. It's difficult to get things done in Nigeria, but you know what? It's my country. Enugu State is my state. There's no place like home, so that's why we came. We really can't complain, because if everything was okay, there wouldn't have been any reason for us to try to be part of the change that everybody desires. We're here because things are not working, so we're seeing firsthand those things that are not working. Like I was trying to say all those times when I was trying to do my video today and the network wasn't letting me do that, I've criticized the government a lot of times, the state government, on things they didn't do well. But the one that is really annoying me now, and which I really can't, I can't throw 100% of the blame on the state government, is this issue of federal infrastructure, especially the roads. Now, let me give a background explanation of what it means to say that a road is a federal road. Federal roads are those roads that pass through a state, but the responsibility of that road belongs to the federal government. That's things that have to do with construction, things that have to do with maintenance, and other things. Thank you, Deji, for sharing my video. I just saw you share my video. Guys, please help me share this video if you can. I can see when you share the video, so I appreciate that. The road infrastructure that passes through a state, but the responsibility of that road is the federal government. Those are what are called federal roads. Most of them are expressways, express roads. The funny thing is that these roads that pass, the ones that pass through Enugu State, are in a terrible state. They are in a terrible state of disrepair. Today, I saw an accident on one of these roads. And this accident, not just one accident, I saw a couple of them actually, but one terrible one was caused by a driver who was not familiar with this road, and he ran into a massive pothole. It's like a crater. You would think that they dropped a bomb in that place. He ran into it and the car flipped multiple times. I think there was no death, and we're just lucky that there was no death. But what I'm trying to say is that these roads are a death trap everywhere. Someone said, Chidi, stop focusing on things, on problems that are here, that the people already know about these problems. But that in itself is the problem. The problem is that people have become so numb with the things that are wrong in the environment that they've given up. They've given up talking about it, because if they talk about it, nobody will do anything. But that's why we're here. We are here to pinpoint those things that are being done wrongly, pinpoint those problems that our people are facing, with a view to offering a solution to those problems. I'm telling you, if I'm the governor of Enugu State, I will not remit any money into the federal government account if they don't fix the roads in Enugu State. It does not make sense for you to be telling me that a road in Enugu State is a federal road, and yet the people that use this road are indigenous of Enugu State. Agreed, other people fly through these roads to get, because they are interstate roads. They traverse the states of Nigeria. They pass through several roads. Like the one that I was on today runs all the way to Port Harcourt. So it passes through so many states in the east. But the funny thing is that the larger percentage of people who use these expressways are indigenous of Enugu State. If anybody dies on that road, there's a probability that they are residents of Enugu. All the cars that fly on that road and they get spoiled because the shock absorbers spoil and all that, they belong to people, citizens of Enugu State, people who live in Enugu State. It doesn't matter what part of Nigeria you came from. And my point is that it is not acceptable for us to have to fold our arms and wait for the federal government to fix these roads. I know it is a responsibility of the federal government to fix the roads, but as a state governor, I will not wait for them to come. We would have to get into some serious talk where I would use the money that is meant to be put, the tax that any state is supposed to pay to the federal government, whatever money we're collecting on behalf of the federal government in terms of revenue, I will get them to let me use the money to fix the road. Because I cannot be waiting. My responsibility is the security of the life and property of the citizens of Enugu State. So if I cannot secure their life because the road that is killing them is a responsibility of the federal government, then I have failed in my duty. So what I'm trying to say is that it is important that we engage and find out why these things are not happening the way they're supposed to happen. Thank you, Tommy from Geneva. It is not right. It is not acceptable. If the federal government will not fix the federal infrastructure in a state, then why should we give them our money? We should use the money and fix the road. Let us begin to argue about it. Take me to court. We can do the addition and subtraction. But first of all, I want the life of the people and their property to be safe, to be safeguarded. I want to make sure that nobody dies on that road, because if we wait for someone to die and then we go to the federal government and say, see, these people died because the road was bad, then we have not achieved anything at all. What we should do is make sure that we fix the road. Use our money to fix the road. When we fix the road, let the federal government go and announce in newspapers that the governor of Enugu State was not doing what they were supposed to do. Let them go and say that, and let people now judge whether using revenue that is collected in Enugu State on behalf of the federal government to fix the roads that are killing the citizens of Enugu State is the wrong or the right thing to do. I couldn't just wrap my arms around it. Another factor that makes you want to puke is when you discover that some of these roads, some of these federal roads in the east, that the contracts for the repair of these roads have actually been awarded to indigenes of eastern Nigeria, sometimes indigenes of Enugu State. And I don't know how they couldn't find it in their heart to work on these roads as if they are going to be plied by the citizens of their state. How can you live with a conscience that is not troubling you when you know that you did a bad job on these roads? And so my point today is that I do not really agree with the notion that we should leave the federal road and wait till the federal government comes and fixes the road. I'm not saying that the state government should usurp the power and the authority of the federal government to, begin to handle the things that the federal government is supposed to handle. But my point is that as long as this thing affects your people directly, I think it is the responsibility of the leader to make sure that, first of all, we arrest the situation. First of all, we make sure that people's lives and property is protected. Then we can go into the bureaucracy of who is supposed to do what. Because once a life is lost there, whether the federal government comes back and uses 1 billion naira to fix the road, we are never going to be able to bring back that life. It is high time we begin to take the life of people seriously. It is high time we begin to realize that people's lives are valuable. In a situation where we treat people as if their lives don't matter, as if their lives are just like the life of a chicken, it does not go well for us. Okay? So, if you have any questions about this, you can ask me. I've already started talking to some people. I'm going to do more study to understand the relationship between the federal government and the state government as it has to do with federal infrastructure, especially roads in the state. There is no way we can allow the federal government to just sit on their responsibilities, shy away from their responsibilities to its citizens in that state, and people will be dying on these roads. Accidents will be happening. People will waste so much time on the roads because of these big potholes. And the irony of it is that someone will come on the internet and be blaming me for showcasing this thing. Someone will tell me I'm doing the wrong thing by talking about it. It beats me. And this is someone who uses these roads. How? See, there's basic things that we can do to make the lives of the people very pleasant. I'm not after huge company. I'm an architect by training, and I know how to talk big grammar and big sophisticated programs. But you'll be talking above people's heads, and that doesn't solve any problem. We have to find a way to communicate in a very simplistic manner so that people can understand our message, people can receive our message, and we can be able to direct it to the authorities responsible in very basic, simple methods. What is so complicated about Oga? Our road spoiled. Who is supposed to fix it? Show me. Now this man, now don't give our money. Now you chop our money. Okay, bring our money to fix the road. Oga, governor, make we know they give these federal people the money. Make we carry the tax money, build the road. Who be the contractor where they give the money? We see the contractor. We mark him. We follow him up. He doesn't do the job. We protest and make sure he does the job. That is how basic government is. It's not when we talk all this big grammar and some big guy gets the contract and we never know how he got the contract, whether he did what he's supposed to be, whether he did what he's supposed to do, or whether they do what's supposed to be done. All we get is the end result, and the end result is that the same road which every year they keep on awarding, this same road is broken up, this same road is not working. So whatever method, whatever sophisticated method that they've been using to award the contract to assess the road, it has not worked. I know specific places on the express, on this federal express that goes through Enugu, I know specific places on that road that have always been bad. They have always been bad from when I was growing up. Since the early 80s that this road was constructed, late 70s, that this express road that we're talking about was constructed. These spots have always been bad. And that's the place where you have policemen and soldiers and other kinds of uniformed men, road safety. Those are the places where they mount their roadblocks. So it looks as if they don't want these places to be fixed. Because you keep wondering why they are not fixed. I'm going to read a comment by Chike Okoye. It says, I agree on the urgency of the need to fix the roads, which the incumbent government has made so much fuss about their efforts in that regard. However, Cadet may not be fully aware that most of those hold on, I'm going to read it. That most of those states are not viable and so don't contribute much to the center. Rather, they go to the center monthly for funds from federation accounts. The state governors should feel the responsibility to improve on the roads, at least to make them motorable, and then go over to Abuja to impress on the federal government the need for urgent intervention. Some state governments have done just that. Some governors even fix the roads and receive reimbursement from the federal government. That's the way to go. Anyway, thanks for creating the awareness. We are actually on the same page, my brother. That's why I say that it is better for the state government to fix the roads. Because whether you like it or not, it is not federal human beings that die on these roads. And you know that the speed that vehicles use on the express roads is more than those ones they use on the local state roads. So more accidents occur actually on these roads than you have within the state roads. So it's something that needs urgent attention, because when those accidents happen on the express, the casualties are more than the ones that happen in the state internal roads. So whatever is the case, once anything touches on the life of individuals in a state, it is priority. It is priority. It's only in Nigeria that I see that something has to do with people's lives. Something borders on people losing their life, and we don't consider it as priority. I'm telling you, it doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. Once it has to do with protection of people's lives and property. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. For those who are trying to call me, I'm not able to pick your call because when I pick the call, then it disturbs the broadcast, okay? So like I was saying, we are saying the same thing with the person who left me a comment, Chike Okoye. I agree with you. It's only in Nigeria, as I was saying, that something that has to do with people's lives, something that involves loss of life on express road is not considered as priority. That is number one. I mean, anything that will make any indigent of the state to lose their life through accidents, we should fix it. And then we can go back and argue with the federal government whether we're supposed to fix it or whether we're not supposed to fix it. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, whatever we need to do to make sure that on these federal roads that pass through our state, people don't get involved in accidents, that's what we should do. That's what we should do. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I want you all to just see the point that we're making, that it is really the responsibility of the state government to do everything within their reach to make sure that those federal roads are fixed. They are part of the infrastructure in the state, whether you call it state or federal or whatever. When people die, it is not the people in Lagos or Abuja that die on these roads. These are indigenes of Enugu State that die on those roads, okay? Make sure you share this video. Leave us a comment. Even if you come back after the video and leave a comment, we'll appreciate it. And make sure that you support the African Action Congress, the AAC. We need people from all over the 17 local governments of Enugu State. Go to our website and register. And if you want to run for any elective post, please indicate, and we'll do everything to help you. Where the party with the cheapest price for our nomination forms. It's almost the basic fee that INEC has asked that we charge, that our party is charging. So it's making it very, very cheap for people to get involved. Remember that if you pass the primaries, you get an opportunity to be on the INEC card, voters card, and you're already considered a contestant, and that could be a good place to start your political career. So take advantage of our party, especially if you're a young person. We realize that young people don't have so much money, so that's why we're not charging you millions to become a member of our party. So you can go to www.aacparty.com, www.aacparty.com. That's where you go, and then you can sign in and become a member of any of our state chapters. And you can also go to the section that allows you to indicate your interest if you want to run for a political post. Let's just keep pointing out the things that are not working fine, and let us keep offering solutions to this thing. If the government were to have a very effective maintenance department, or even if you don't want to have the Ministry of Works do this job, you can contract it to people. The problem with contracting a job is not actually who is the cheapest or who is the most expensive. It is in your ability to supervise the person and make sure that they give you what you want. If we just did that, if we just contracted these jobs about maintenance and make sure that they go around every day, and they make and what we do is we give out the contract for them to build the road. So they build the road, they spend so much money fixing the road. Once the road is fixed, nobody goes back for maintenance. Nobody goes back to check the small cracks. Nobody goes back to fill the small pothole that you can fill with just, the cost will not even be up to 2,000 naira, just to fill a small pothole. But we will not do that when it's still very little. And what happens? It grows into a pothole, a bigger pothole, and then it grows into a crater. And before you know it, the road is cut into half. And then we have to spend millions of naira again to fix the same road that would have fixed a few thousands of naira if we had a good maintenance culture. That is what our government is talking about. We're going to establish this low budget outfit. You don't need millions. There are lots of young people who are willing to work. There are people who are unemployed who will gladly take up these jobs, and we'll have them in teams, have each team assigned to specific roads. There was a time I went to China, and along a very long express that we had to do 8 hours, the whole 8 hours along this express road, they had in the median, the middle of the road, they planted beautiful plants. It's like you traveling from Enugu to Lagos, and all along the express, the middle is planted with hedges that are cut neatly and trees in the middle. And I was asking, and I saw at every little portion, I saw elderly people weeding and tending to these plants. And I asked my guests, not my guests, the people that my hosts, I asked them, what is this thing that is going on? How are you able to maintain this expressway? They told me that for every village where that road passes, they have people employed who live in that village who come and take care of the flower, because you would think these are flowers in somebody's backyard, beautiful, but these are plants on the expressway, not even on the city road. So they have people employed. What they do, they wake up in the morning, they come. Even if your portion is just like 2 meters of that median, of that hedge, they come with their watering can, they water it, they trim it, they clean it, they sweep it. And can you imagine how much employment is being provided for people along that road? So what the Chinese guys told me is that they can do it mechanically. They have big machines that can do these things, but they wanted to provide employment for those people living on those highways. And let me tell you something: when a plant is attended to by people manually, it's much beautiful than when a machine does it. The same thing we would do with roads. So when we're talking about in our MEGAVISION, we're talking about advanced infrastructure. That's what we're talking about. It's not just about big machinery. It's about advanced thinking. It's about getting people to do little jobs. You don't have to pay them plenty, but keep them gainfully employed. Let them keep maintaining small portions. So just tell this person, from here to here, this is your assignment. If anything goes wrong, you fix it. Usually after a period of rain, you see the road will have some breakups some places. Something could happen. After an accident, a portion of the road could chip off. Now, if somebody who is in charge of that road, who is not in charge of a large portion of the road, goes there, mixes the chippings with coal tar, and then makes the mixture to fill that road. If they did it, that road will not break up more. And I'm telling you, it would have cost little to nothing to fix that road. Imagine if this person does this periodically over a length of time. There will not be any need for you to do any major maintenance on that road, because people go and chip in small maintenance every day. Now, it will not require so much, just like the way people sweep the roads. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. We should have those teams that maintain the road. If you have those teams maintaining the road, one, people will be gainfully employed instead of just staying idle without employment. And then these roads will last for as long as they're supposed to last. That's what I have for you today in our video. I'll be doing some more videos. Keep praying for me. It's not very easy going around doing grassroots mobilization and sensitization. We do a lot of travels. We go to places that that are very interesting, and so I need all your prayers. I need all your support. Go to my GoFundMe page. A lot of you asked for that page. We opened it. Now I need you to go there and put in some money. This whole thing requires not just money, it requires so much money. And because we don't have any money bags, because we don't have people sponsoring us, we depend on you to help us to do this job. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Chidi Cadet Nwanyanwu, and I'm the next governor of Enugu State come 2019. Thank you very much.